Welcome everyone to the 28th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace. It's Tuesday, February 20th, 2018. I'm your host, Rick Crammond, and today, once again, we'll have Caroline Keshe with us to be our guide through today's adventure in One Nation, One Planet, One Race. And I believe we're ready to go for today. Let me bring up the public wish document. I think that's how we're going to begin. Caroline, are you there?
Yes, for sure. We're always present. And it is indeed a new adventure. Every day is a new adventure. Can you understand me properly?
Yes, you sound good there.
My voice is not so good. And this is a beautiful one you just opened up. You're going to enlarge it. Yep. Thank you, Rick. In the meantime, everybody has walked in, as we say. Welcome. Even if it's morning or afternoon or evening. Or for some people in the middle of the night sometimes, I don't know. It's a Keshe family 24 hours. Doesn't matter where you're, always knowledge seekers are busy somewhere. For some it's extremely early, for some it's extremely late. It's not easy when you work in these kind of different time zones. So I know a lot of knowledge seekers are really making a lot of effort to be present, despite the lack of sleep or the early up morning hours. Just to be present, to share. We've seen a lot of changes among the knowledge seekers. Everybody has received like a boost. And if you have noticed in the social media, like Facebook, you see the messages are changing. The content of the knowledge seekers is changing very rapidly. We see people coming with beautiful designs, full explanation, a full extent of all the details they have worked through. And it's in different platforms. It's in the karma graphs, the energy units, the magraph units, the food, the medical, the health. I see all different kinds of short videos or pictures or a lot of writings or testimonies just appearing out of nowhere. It's like everybody start really waking up. But the most beautiful thing is that we can translate it and we can understand and we can follow. But the beauty is they are not hesitating to share it with the world. Because from there on, you take it, you copy, you paste the link, and you go somewhere else to share it among your friends and on other social networks. So we are not quiet, and this was the whole purpose of this platform, to come into public. That we open our doors and share knowledge, and more people get the boost to be there, to share so openly. As a council member, I can inform you that the charter soon will be finished. It's in its last stages. It's going to be a long charter. And it's going to need time for people to integrate it into our day-to-day life, to change the future, which are our children. But we can only change our future when we start with ourselves, so that we can give it as a gift and pass it on to our children. But the beauty is that there are more and more people aware, and they don't wait, they don't hesitate, because it's like a clicking system. It's not so difficult anymore as in the beginning. I've noticed that a lot of knowledge seekers don't have to go through such a harsh, immense harsh time to be able to share this kind of knowledge. It's like through their maturing and their enlightenment and their inspiration that they are firing other people's desire, interest, inspiration, whatever you name it, but they are more willing to come and to listen, to receive something which is totally new, which is absolutely amazing. Also, if you all know, the Chinese calendar has changed. It has brought us into the year of the dog. And if you open that, it brings a lot of change, a lot of tranquility, a lot of that trust, friendship, loyalty, because you have to analyze the type of energy which reflects a dog. A dog always welcomes. A dog is very generous in his greetings. It doesn't matter how long you've been gone, even 1 minute. To him, you mean the world. He will greet you all over just like he has never seen you before, with so much love and care, making sure you know that you're there. So if you open the true sign for what Chinese people are now going into this year, it will bring a big change. And I think a lot of knowledge seekers have already started feeling that this year would bring a lot of change. It's like this year has not started normal. There's a different vibration of energy. I noticed it. Things start shifting much faster. Doors start opening much faster. There is a shift. And as usual, I asked Rick to bring the Charter of the Wishes, because we cannot stop. And how can we do it better to achieve? And where can we reach more to go out to reach peace? Peace is a word, but at the same time, it reflects tranquility and easiness, friendship. And it is beautiful the way Rick is going through the charter. It brings so many memories, what we all have been working on. And there are a lot of wishes in there, and a lot have started opening up. And people are shocked. The wisdom sits, never to stop wishing, and always wish for it to serve someone else. So the more you include, the more it can serve. And I would like to ask the people which are here today, do you have any questions or anything you want to share with us that has changed your point from before the Keshe Foundation? And what has it brought you today, so that we can learn and share from one another, where we can inspire more people to open more doors? Is there anyone who would love to share or has a question?
We have Fernando with his hand up, so we can allow him to talk. Promote to panelist, actually. Fernando, would you like to start off here? You should be able to unmute there now.
Hola, buenas tardes.
Hello, yes.
Gracias. Bien,
If you can start off by just saying who you are and where you're from, that would be great. Thank you.
bueno, ¿cómo les explico? Tal vez esta experiencia sea muy importante para todos nosotros, ya que se trata de una experiencia de vida y es una experiencia real
Perhaps John
acerca de
or
nuestros
Ursula can translate.
deseos. Tenemos a una persona, yo me acuerdo que Mr. Keshe mencionaba que lamentablemente, dime John,
¿Quieres que si haces oraciones cortas yo te traduzco?
muchas gracias John, estoy de acuerdo.
Que seas breve.
Fernando Rendon is from Mexico and he wants to tell us about his life experiences, por tus experiencias de vida, ¿cierto?
Sí, te voy a presentar a una persona.
He is presenting us a friend of his. He's got by him, apparently.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Rosalba Pérez.
This lady is called Rosalba.
Sí.
Mr. Keshe mencionaba que lamentablemente tenemos que estar entre la delgada línea de la vida y de la muerte para poder realmente tomar el significado de lo que es la vida.
He's mentioned that Mr. Keshe has told us about the thin line between life and death. And so we have to transit this line to experience life.
Rosalba ahora está en la experiencia de una delgada línea de la vida y de la muerte.
This lady is experimenting this situation between life and death.
Habla de tu voz que quisieras compartir.
Pues tengo 5 días apenas usando el plasma y he visto muy buenos resultados.
I have been trying the plasma waters for the last 5 days and I have seen fantastic results.
Mi dolor de huesos era mucho.
I had very many pains in my bones. ¿Tienes cáncer de hueso?
Es cirrosis hepática.
Liver cirrhosis. She is suffering from liver cirrhosis.
Aunado, traigo bajas las defensas, anemia, 10.68 de hemoglobina.
My defenses are very low, and my hemoglobin is in 10.8.
John,
Sí.
estamos contando la experiencia
De esta señora, con referencia al plasma.
Sí, sabes, los resultados han sido muy buenos, pero hemos entendido que todo tiene que ver con las emociones. ¿Sabes? Yo quería compartir esto con ustedes, con todo el grupo, porque no tenemos que llegar a estar muriendo para podernos darnos cuenta de las bendiciones que nos rodean todos los días.
Fernando has wanted to bring this lady along because she has realized that this is a great transformation in her emotions, and these changes have been occurring for the last 5 days.
Yo pensaba, John, si en algún momento no tuviéramos plasma, ¿de qué dependemos para la cura de nuestras enfermedades? De las emociones hemos aprendido.
We have learned lately that we cure ourselves through our emotions. What would happen if we didn't have the plasma right now?
Pero yo dejaré que una persona exprese sus sentimientos, porque después de todo es una vida que ahora estás experimentando y le estás dando más valor realmente, Rosalba. Tienes que apreciar lo que estamos haciendo, ¿eh?
I would like to let this lady let us know how she is realizing this through her emotions.
¿Cuáles son tus emociones?
Pues principalmente tengo 2 hijos, tengo 3, ¿verdad? Pero mis 2 hijos son los que me están apoyando para salir adelante en esto.
¿Sabes? Tus hijos ya saben lo que es el CO2, el ZNO y los aminoácidos. Realmente la cura la tienes enfrente de ti. ¿Sabes de qué depende todo? De tus emociones. John, por favor, quisiera nada más compartirle a todas estas personas un mensaje bien simple.
Fernando wants to impart a short message through this lady. Sí, adelante.
Que no tenemos que esperar estas situaciones para darnos valor y para dar valor a todo el mundo que nos rodea.
We don't have to fall into these nasty situations to realize that we, with this technology, we could work with our emotions and modify all our lives.
Tenemos un testimonio que es su propio testimonio y que vamos a seguir compartiendo con todos ustedes. Después de todo es una vida y hay que seguir adelante.
This lady has 3 sons. 2 of them are studying this technology, and they're realizing how this is working on her emotions and the way she is curing herself from these ailments.
Yo quiero dar agradecimiento a las personas, a la comunidad en español específicamente, a todas las personas que están haciendo válido todo este conocimiento, John, específicamente para ti, para Úrsula, y un montón de personas que están detrás, ¿sí? Este conocimiento está en expansión todos los días y es para nuestro beneficio.
Fernando says he's very grateful for all the Spanish-speaking community that letting us know of all this knowledge Mr. Keshe is giving us, and all the work the community is putting together so the Spanish community can realize this technology.
Muchas gracias, John. Y realmente este año es muy bueno para todos nosotros.
He says that
Gracias.
this year is going to be a fantastic year for us all. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Caroline.
Yes, it took me a second to unmute myself. Thank you very much for sharing your experience, and I wish you all the best. And it's when you do, you make the change, you bring the change. Is there anyone else who wants to share more?
There is Hassan who's made a comment in the chat, and maybe he would like to actually speak, I was thinking. So perhaps I'll promote him to, or allow him to talk and see if he would actually like to say what he's talking about here. He mentions about raising dogs and about the unconditional love that can occur around that situation. So rather than just read what he says, maybe it'd be better if we heard from him. Can you talk about that, Hassan? You should be able to unmute your microphone there.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, hi.
I was not prepared to talk about that, but
Sorry about that.
Well, no problem, Rick. Love the family. Sometimes you feel you need to understand, to hear everybody. Yeah, I was talking about my relationship with dogs. Dear Caroline was talking about the relationship with the dog, and they had one, and I totally feel what they can feel about this relationship. The first time I raised a dog, it was maybe 8 years and a half ago, and dogs, especially, and animals, I think so. They teach you real love and unconditional love, and I'm grateful for this teaching I had from my first dog. And when you raise them, they become a part of you. And the day physical detachment happen, it's a little bit hard to handle, but you never forget any time of the relation you have with that beautiful souls, real unconditional loving souls. And since the first one, I raised dog for 6 years until someone poisons all the dogs I had. Maybe it was like 8 dog and a half, 8 dog and some puppies. Well, since that time, I stopped raising dog, but now I feel I am part of all the dogs in the streets I see, I meet. I greet them, I love them. The ones who want to approach, who like to approach me, I give them a hug. And now I feel myself part of sharing with all living creatures, even if it's birds, even any animal you can meet in the street or at the beach or whatever, wherever you walk in the forest. And yeah, they teach you love. They teach you unconditional love, and that's what I wanted to share about that. When you start the first time, and you feel when you leave them for 1 or 2 days, when you come back, it's like years they haven't seen you. They hug you, they lick you, they kiss you. It's marvelous. You have to live it to feel it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Yeah, everyone who has animals, especially dogs, but a lot of other animals have the same, because their soul is, if you are without fear, their soul is there to give unconditionally. You show no fear or no hesitation of any anger or aggression towards an animal. You can approach any animal, or the animal will decide, but the animal will never harm you. It's in the soul not to harm unless something is wrong somewhere. But the dog shows, and we have seen a lot of videos from animals, how kind they are and how protective they are and how clever they are and how dedicated they are. That I wish sometimes this would be the first thing that humanity would show to one another. And these are the steps we're going to go to. This is where we're all going to race to, by becoming one big family, sharing and growing to that level that we will embrace anyone, everywhere, anywhere, with love and kindness. At least to approach them with that intent, as so many knowledge seekers have given us the feedback that they see the change and the change is there. A lot of people are too much on their guard without giving the chance of the love and the care to come first. And it is understandable, because you have to change your whole environment to have that effect, but at least you can start and do it, and then you see the change. Who else has another story which is beautiful to share?
Well, Brett does mention in the chat, my lovely dog chewed my fiber optic cables and down my internet for 4 days. I'm still operating by way of dongle, but I still love the rascal, he says. So it occurs to me it's interesting that with humans and their relationships with their animals, I think that for some people, and perhaps many people, they could treat their animals in a way better than they treat some of their fellow human beings. There's many people that wouldn't get mad at an animal, but they wouldn't think twice about getting mad at their partner or somebody else, perhaps, because they think it's normal for humans. But it's, you know, that you have to treat animals with care. So we have a bit of a double standard for many people in the world, perhaps in regards to the way we treat ourselves and our animals. And of course, it can be the other way around as well, where you might treat your fellow human beings perfectly well, but forget that the animal kingdom also needs to be treated with care. So, and then of course we can extrapolate that to the plant kingdom as well, and our relationship with that, and how is that going? I note that recently in the news there was a city there, or an area that decided to no longer sell dogs and cats. There's a pet store, and they are no longer selling dogs there. So this is a big change, actually, and this is what was demanded by the local people, and they decided that it wasn't okay to enslave dogs by selling them that way. So perhaps that'll be an indicator of some changes going on in the world. Okay, is there anybody else who would like to make a comment or a question?
Can I come back, Rick?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Just for asking for a little prayer, little soul help. Maybe if every one of us who are involved in the ethos of the foundation, as we have always made with Paul with Togo, what we saw in Togo, in Sudan, and every time we put all our intent, something happens. And now that we are more convinced of it, it's a bad experience. 3 days ago, a friend of mine, her mother's, she was working, she was at work, and she fell down, and her femur bone broke. So she had a lot of pain. They brought her at the hospital, and at the time I'm talking to you, she's having a surgery for that broken bone. But the first 2 days, the doctors wanted to cut the bone and to put how you call it in English, a prosthesis, plastic one. But as we follow, me and him now, the medical teachings in French, the beautiful medical teachings from Jean-Jacques, and we learn more and more that the femur should not be cut if it can be handled in another way. And for 2 days, all the families were like furious against him. Why he did not want the doctors to cut the bone, and he was insisting on, if there is another way, even if it's one chance, let us take the chance to not cut the bone. So take your time and think about it. And I put my intent on the health of the mother, and I told him to not forget to put the intent, and maybe with that we get results. The doctors told him that yes, you have one little small chance, but you have to think for it. And 2 days later, so this was yesterday in the night, he called me and told me that the doctors said that they are not going to remove the femur. They're just going to put a nail, I think, and hold the bones, and that the surgery will happen for 1 hour. And after 1 month, they will remove even the nail. So when he had that information, he told me, he called me instantly. He told me, did you put your intent in it? I told him, sure, yes, you do not have to doubt about that. You put your intent too? Yes, I put it. Now he feel the power of the intent. And all the families, they were against him. And what he made to convince them, he took teachings from Jean-Jacques. I think that it's not the last one he talked about the bone. He made teachings like the one Mr. Keshe made with question and answers. And he drew many stuff. And at the end of the teaching, he took that video, and he sent it to the all the family. And when they watched the video, even they don't know nothing about medicine, the videos convinced them that to not cut the bone. It was scientific doctor people who were talking. It was a doctor. So happy that the bone will not be cut. I just want you to put your soul in that, so that the mother will come back with a good health. Doctor said after 1 month she can walk normally if the surgery is made. Okay. Thank you. That was what I wanted to share.
This is a big thank you and a beautiful sharing. And this is what I said at the beginning of this, that people start opening up more and more and more, and people, you're reaching people. But it's because you have changed your energy fields. Whoop, there we go. We got a little friend who just confirmed as well. Thank you so much for sharing. That was a real pleasure and a real beauty. Thank you so much. I will definitely share it with Mr. Keshe. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wish the lady all the best in her recovery and the family to support her, that she even can come out faster. Because even the time of recovery is only a time which is a time we can change even that time. We will start coming to realization that we can change so much. And because we are the change. It's just a matter how we look and interpret and speak about confirming what is acceptable and even the time frame you want to go through it. It's well known in the medical world that it's not because you have a broken bone, you have to sit for 6 weeks and not move anymore. Thank you so much for sharing. Anyone else wants to come and share something on the platform?
Well, Ursula mentions in the chat she's very grateful for Jean-Jacques Dermont's medical teaching, and she's learning so much as a naturopath and hope to start global teachings with him. So again, there's other connections to that story.
And this is correct, Rick, because I watch how the communications are going and how they're building up and sharing the load on teaching among different teachers, so different aspects can come on the table in different languages, but they have combined their knowledge and they're sharing the load, as we say, that it does not always have to be on the shoulders of one teacher. So we urge people which have been for quite a long time with the foundation, don't hesitate to contact us. Don't hesitate to go through our website or through one of our knowledge seekers to find your place as a teacher or a workshop person. Your time, your what you have learned, your knowledge is very beneficial for so many other people. And sometimes, like you just recognized in this situation, when you're persistent, but your intent is correct, and you support because you know it's correct, you see how the doors open up. And then it's less and less and less resistance you're going to receive to open up more, because all those people will open more doors to know more. And not only in this one time event. It's like you get, how can we say, without using a wrong word, it's like you become a member of a new family, which is operating on a different level, on soul level. And that brings and creates a lot of peace. And this is what this platform was built for. So anybody else who has more to share, welcome into the family.
Well, there's kind of an interesting aspect that's been brought up by, I'm not sure if it's Dennis or Denise. I think it's Dennis in the chat. And I'll read it. It might be a little bit hard to understand, but I read it through a few times. I think I understand what he's saying. Or perhaps he would like to speak about it, but let me read it first. A friend of my son, this is another dog story, by the way. A friend of my son saw my dog in my house. He later said, when we asked, that the dog was moving around in a happy way like many dogs do. The problem, and what the guy was not aware of, is that the dog had died a few days before he saw it. In the end, for a few weeks, she was barely moving on her own. I think she showed to him, I think she showed herself to him because he could not lie about it, not being aware the dog was not anymore with us. In other words, this young person was not aware that this dog had already passed away and was not even in the, his physicality was not in the house, but yet he saw this dog joyfully running around. So what I get from this is he basically, this young person saw the soul of this dog, or maybe the soul of the physicality, you could say, of the dog, that was basically still hanging around the house. I'm not quite sure. That's my interpretation. So I'd like to hear from Dennis if we can. That would be great. Let's see if he'd be willing to talk here. He says, I got it. So, but I'll allow you to talk, Dennis, and maybe you can explain a little bit about that.
Yes, do you hear me, Rick?
Yes, we have an echo. If you turn your speakers down a bit, it'd be fine.
I cut off my phone. Well, you got it. It's hard for me to explain because I'm not perfectly, I don't perfectly speak English. But he really saw, he told us he saw the dog. So it was as physical as it was before, I would say. And then we asked, and he gave us details about the dog being very happy and making a circle around his tail. And it could not be possible because for a few weeks before that, the dog was even able to move on its own. So it's not easy for me to tell you the story because I love that dog so much. Thank you.
Maybe it's that love which kept it going after its physicality passed away. Okay.
For this lady to comfort or to explain, maybe if I may.
Caroline.
Yes.
It's my voice, but I'm not a lady. Thank you.
Don't worry. My voice doesn't sound like my voice either today, I think, because it's the start because of a cold. I do apologize. It doesn't always come through the way we want to hear. But I want to comfort you that with what you just explained, I read your message and I went, wow, there rings a bell of a déjà vu. And this was a gift to you. That boy coming, telling you this story, knowing you knew he didn't, he brought you a beautiful gift from the dog. You cannot even imagine how beautiful this gift is. Because I experienced the same thing when I was sitting in the church next to Giovanni. And that was on the funeral from Fabio. And he said, I can see Fabio, and he is so happy. I said, that's all we needed to know, Giovanni, that he's okay. So me and Giovanni, we knew he was no longer there, but Giovanni was just vividly just telling me he's fine. He says he looks good. He's happy. I said, and everything is okay, because this was the same feeling I had when I didn't know where he was. Shortly after the accident, he was only a few kilometers away from our home, and we thought he was more than an hour and a half away from us. And when we passed, I sensed it physically, and Mehran was speaking the words, what was going through me, and it was like, I said, I can feel Fabio. He says, you are telling me what is going through my head. I can sense him too. It's like he's calling us. Like, why don't you come and see me? But we didn't stood still with that at that moment until half an hour later, we came home and we got a telephone call with a confirmation that we literally passed a few 100 meters away Fabio's body, because they kept it near to where the accident happened. So you get the signals. There is no big wall or no non-existing wall. When you're tuned with your loved one, you will know, they will come with a message. And I received a lot of messages, as I said once before, from Fabio directive, and Yvonne was one of my witnesses that they tried to find me everywhere. And I passed the messages on to Giovanni because they needed to be translated because they came into English. And they were all from Fabio explaining to detail that it was him, because there was information that nobody else could know except the family himself, to make sure they could accept this message. And Giovanni only recently confirmed, he says, Caroline, you know something? That was very weird, because we never spoken about it. It just came up out of nowhere. And he said, you know something? He said, I double checked, he says, and everything in that message, he says, was so accurate and so precise. And it was confirmed from the family that this was and could only be coming from Fabio, because I received a message from somebody on the other side of the world who was only English speaking. And she told me she got a message from somebody and a whole chain went to start rolling. But the message came on time for the family, the mother and the father and the sister, because they were devastated. And the father told me, he said it just came on the right time, because Fabio's mom was really, really badly suffering. So when that boy came to you with that, not a story, but what he has witnessed, you received the biggest, beautiful gift from your dog. And he couldn't have given it into any more beautiful way. And I got many stories like this from people which are sharing these stories with me. And they're all beautiful because they're all messages. And if you're in heartbroken and missing people wish for it, they will appear. They will make the link to you in the way that is possible. And thank you for sharing. That was a beautiful story. Thank you very much. Do we have more beauties today?
Well, we have Mr. Chen, who had his hand up and is asked to speak. So, Mr. Chen, what would you like to say today?
Hello, everybody. I'm Nguyen Chin. I live in Canada. I'm Vietnamese. I participate too much in the Zoom, and I want to share my knowledge in my experience in my life. But my English is not good. I want to someone translate for me in French, please. Hello.
We have
Perhaps,
Ursula.
I was wondering if Elizabeth might want to do that.
Oh, yeah, anyone.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yes, Elizabeth is better than me for this also.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
But speak slowly, okay, Chin Chin?
Yeah, ok.
Give me time to
Bonjour tout le monde.
Hello, everybody.
Je vais partager mes propres expériences depuis mon enfance.
Mr. Chin says he will share his own experiences from his childhood.
Puisque depuis mon enfance, je veux très bien partager tout ce que je veux à tout le monde.
Because since my childhood, I've always wanted to share everything I know and have with everybody.
Ce n'est pas maintenant que je partage.
It's not just now that I've been sharing.
Dans ma pensée,
in my thoughts,
je pensais à une chose comme un enfant.
I always think like a child
Qui joue le football sur la rue.
who plays football in the street or soccer.
Qu'est-ce qu'on doit faire?
What do we do?
Si on laisse l'enfant jouer, il peut avoir un accident.
If we let children play, there could be an accident.
Alors, je crois que c'est mon devoir de voir l'enfant jouer le football dans la rue.
So I think it's my homework, my task, to look at the children playing in the street.
Je lui dis, et ne joue pas le ballon dans la rue.
I come and say they're not playing with the ball on the street.
Parfois, sa mère est à côté.
Sometimes the mother is beside him.
Elle dit que je suis là. Pourquoi tu dis à mon enfant?
I am there. Why are you talking to my son? Why do you say that to my son?
Mais je dis, s'il y a un accident, vous regretterez.
And I say, if there's an accident, you'll regret it.
C'est pourquoi, dans n'importe quelle situation,
That is why in any situation,
je participe et je dis à l'enfant.
I participate and I talk to the child.
C'est pourquoi j'essaie de partager tout ce que je sais. Je vois s'il y a quelque chose qui ne va pas, je partage.
That's why I share everything I know, and if I see something that's not right, I share.
J'espère que tout le monde reçoit cette nouvelle.
I hope everybody receives this message.
Essayez de partager et c'est votre devoir par rapport à l'humanité.
And to try to share, it is your job as to help humanity.
Aujourd'hui, j'ai deux petits sujets pour partager.
Today, I have two subjects that I'd like to share.
Dans ce monde-là, on a entendu beaucoup sur la révolution.
In this world, we hear a lot about revolution.
Mais dans la révolution, on dit que tout ce qu'on doit faire, c'est faire quelque chose de nouveau.
But in the revolution, all we hear is we've got to do something new.
Mais on a oublié
But we've forgotten
dans le monde, on doit évoluer, pas faire la révolution.
But we've forgotten in the world we must evolve, not revolve. Or you have evolution over revolution.
Puisque évolution, c'est on prend tout ce qui est bon dans le passé et on évolue.
Because evolution is we take everything that's good from the past and we evolve.
Et tout ce qui n'est pas bon, on essaie de faire quelque chose de bon pour évoluer pour l'humanité.
And all that's not good, we try to make something good to help humanity.
Vous voyez, il y a beaucoup de révolutions qui sont échouées.
And you see that many revolutions have failed.
Par exemple, la révolution de l'industrie.
For example, the Industrial Revolution.
On essaie de faire une révolution, mais pour les intérêts d'une partie seulement.
We tried to make a change, but it was only for a certain part of the population.
C'est ainsi que ce monde est en train de faire des révolutions.
Tu me répéter?
Oui, dans ce monde-là, on est en train de faire beaucoup de révolutions.
It's in this world that we are creating more revolutions.
Puisque dans la révolution, non pas seulement dans la vie,
because in revolution, not only life,
mais encore sur la spirituelle.
But also in the spiritual life.
Vous voyez, dans l'évolution, on a oublié la morale éthique de l'humanité.
Dans la révolution ou dans l'évolution?
Dans la révolution.
In revolution, we have forgotten the ethics of humanity, of morality.
C'est pourquoi il échoue.
That's why it fails.
C'est pourquoi nous, maintenant, c'est à nous de faire une évolution. C'est prendre.
Now it's our opportunity to go into evolution.
Évolution, c'est prendre tout ce qui est bon dans le passé.
Evolution again is taking everything that's good from the past.
Et faire quelque chose de bon pour l'humanité.
And do something good for humanity.
Comme dans la physique actuelle,
like in our actual physics,
on est bloqué puisqu'on ne sait pas qu'est-ce que c'est le plasma.
Because we're blocked because in physics people do not know about plasma.
Maintenant, plasma est là.
Now plasma is.
On essaie de reprendre tous les physiques, comme on dit, c'est moderne.
We're now trying to take all modern physics.
Et on le contourne vers le plasma.
And send them towards physics, plasma. Surround them by plasma.
J'espère que l'évolution du plasma
I hope the evolution of plasma
donne une bonne résolution pour le monde.
Obtains a good resolution for the world.
Et encore une chose, c'est la religion.
And one more thing, it's religion.
Puisque dans toutes les religions,
because in all religions,
on essaie de faire les gens s'aimer.
They try, all religions try to help people like each other, love each other.
Ne pas nuire aux autres.
Do not harm others.
Et ne pas voler.
And not to steal.
Ne pas tuer.
And not to kill.
Et dire la vérité.
And to tell the truth.
C'est pourquoi il y a beaucoup de gens
It's why many people
sont allergiques aux religions.
are allergic to religion.
Mais la religion, il faut reconnaître l'évolution de la religion.
We need to recognize the evolution of religion.
Puisque la religion, qu'est-ce que c'est?
Because what is religion?
Puisque, par exemple, mon père est chrétien, donc je suis chrétien.
Because if my father is born Christian, I am born Christian.
Si mon père est bouddhiste, donc je suis bouddhiste.
If my father is Buddhist, I'm Buddhist.
On appelle ça, c'est la religion familiale.
We call that familial religion.
Puisque dans le mot religion,
Because in the word religion,
ça veut dire c'est remettre.
it means redo, replace.
Un lit, c'est lié.
And li is to join.
C'est pourquoi dans une famille, les parents et les enfants sont reliés par une religion.
And that's why in a family, children and parents are joined through religion.
Si tout le monde savent que cette religion-là, c'est une religion familiale,
If everybody knows that religion, it's a family religion
depuis longtemps,
from a long time.
les religions peuvent unir tous les gens d'une région.
Religion can unify everybody from a region.
Mais le gouvernement, qu'est-ce qu'il peut? Non.
The government does not want that.
Pour unir tous les gens d'une région,
They don't want people unified all in one region.
il doit donner le droit à la religion
They need to give the right to religion
de réunir les gens,
to reunite people,
donner le pouvoir,
give them power,
et il peut faire beaucoup de choses.
and then they can do many things.
Vous voyez, en Europe,
You see, in Europe,
depuis longtemps,
since a long time,
les rois doivent être reconnus par la religion.
the kings have always had to be recognized by religion,
En Asie aussi.
and in Asia as well.
Pour être roi, il doit être enfant du ciel.
To be a king, you must come from heaven.
Il doit être reconnu
From heaven.
par une religion.
You have to be recognized by a religion.
Il fait des temples pour être reconnu, être roi.
They make temples to be recognized as a king.
Toutes les religions sont bonnes.
All religions are good.
Mais les dirigeants des religions,
but the directors of religions,
après avoir du pouvoir et de l'argent, de la finance,
after receiving power and money,
alors ils sont détournés, vraiment.
They turned around and they did not do a good
Puisque
job.
dans le pouvoir,
Because from power
dans la finance,
and in wealth,
et ça donne de l'ambition.
creates ambition.
C'est pourquoi tous les dirigeants sont les mêmes.
That's why all the directors of our religions are the same.
C'est pourquoi il faut reconnaître que les religions n'est pas mauvaises, mais les dirigeants, ils ont le pouvoir et la finance et ils sont devenus mauvais.
That's why we need to recognize that religion in itself is not bad, but the people directing it, managing it, are not doing a good job.
C'est pourquoi j'essaie d'expliquer.
That's why I'm trying to explain.
Puisqu'on n'a pas de religion,
Once we have
on n'a pas le moral.
Without religion, we have no moral.
Par exemple, vous voyez, il y a beaucoup de révolutions.
As for example, you see there's a lot of revolutions.
Alors, ont échoué.
Failed.
Puisque tous les gens
because
n'ont plus de la foi.
Because nobody has the will.
Je peux dire sur la religion.
I can say on religion.
Il faut expliquer aux gens que les religions n'est pas mauvais.
We need to explain to people that religion in itself is not bad.
Mais il faut savoir que les dirigeants
You need to know, or people need to know, that the directors, the
ont
managers
trop de pouvoir.
have too much power.
Alors,
So,
aujourd'hui, c'est le nouvel an du chien.
today is the new year of the dog.
Alors, je vous souhaite avoir une bonne année.
I wish everybody a wonderful new year.
Et vous savez, le chien est le symbole de la fidélité.
And the dog is the symbol of loyalty.
Mais la fidélité, il faut revoir.
But loyalty needs to be revisited.
Par exemple, il y a beaucoup de gens
For example, there are many people
dans une religion,
in a religion
ils ne savent que sa religion.
that only know their own religion
Et ils contraignent à toute autre religion.
and constrain their beliefs about other religions.
Il est temps d'ouvrir tous les gens
We need to open everybody
avec de l'amour
with love
et de la compassion,
and compassion,
puisque la religion nous mène vers la voie de la sainteté.
because religion sends us on the path to sanctity
Et non pas pour la guerre.
and not towards war.
Alors j'espère que tout ce que je partage
I hope everything I've shared
ouvrira le cœur de tout le monde
opens everybody's hearts
et nous réussissions
and that we succeed
et pour le bien-être de l'humanité.
for the well-being of humanity.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chin Chin. Merci, Chin Chin.
Yes, thank you very much. That was lovely. Any other comments or questions on that particular thing?
I'd like to confirm that as I was saying his words, I was hearing Mr. Keshe saying much of the same thing in many ways, is that we do need to have ethics and morals. And when those who are in charge, quote unquote, of religion, government, or whatever, are lacking in that, we cannot accept it anymore. We need to move forward. And so I agree with a lot of what Mr. Chin said.
Yes, and we become our own authority is the way we move forward, I think, from this way.
Absolutely.
And those that still need to be of those positions of authority had better watch themselves because they're being watched very carefully. So this is the new way of doing business about the world. Flint says, thank you so much, Mr. Chan. Very powerful and timely message.
Welcome, Rick. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Listen to me.
Okay, we've got Estella with her hand up, and I think that we can hear from Estella. Go ahead, Estella. Or perhaps I
Hello?
Yeah, go
Hello?
ahead. Yes, hi.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Lovely message from the gentleman from Canada. And it really sparked me. And this thing of how we communicate with others and how, even with ourselves, the transparency and the loyalty of a dog, it's also like how loyal you are to yourself. And I think that's being with others how you're supposed to with yourself. And when you go to sleep, it's almost, you know, how loyal you be to yourself. Like, oh, I did this, I did that, or I said that, and God, I messed up on that one. And that made me adjust my messages. Like, if we are able to do things and give, you know, toward our loyalty to ourselves, to others, you know, I think maybe the dogs are showing to us something that we need to learn, you know, and we treat them like pets when in reality it's part of our family. And it's something mysterious. I don't know why is this, but usually the dogs project or take personality of people. And even disease, it's almost the dogs get sick instead of the people, the owners. So I don't know, there is a mystery with the dogs, and I have 2 dogs. I love my dogs. So I don't know, they sparked me that kind of, you know, idea of the dogs are, you know, we treat them as pets, but are part of an extension of ourselves. So, and that your loyalty goes into how we need to be loyal to our own self, our own soul, and how we translate that to others. So that's what I want to add. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Stella. Is there anybody else that would like to go ahead, or do you have a comment, Caroline, that you'd like to bring in at this point?
Nope. Let's see how many more people can inspire us. Anybody, anywhere?
Okay, we have Pia with her hand up. And let me promote you and allow you to speak there, Pia.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, I came through. Hello.
Yes, we hear you.
Oh, that's great. I just want to say that I have been working with the words we made, standing right in front of this desktop here. So I'm working on a song, and I hope to the Mario we have been meeting. So we will start continue. I have been jamming in the words the whole weekend. So it has been a great pleasure. So I'm experimenting at the moment. So I hope I could have a finished song to you today, but it maybe needs a bit more work. It changed it from hour to hour, and Mario, he still needs to come into it too. So,
well, that's really great to hear.
Yes.
Do you have a name for the band yet?
No, because I don't know if it's a band. It's just we have some people now who made these words, and we just try to get all of the words into it, and then Mario, he will also add his ideas, and we'll see if we can mix it together.
Great.
Yes.
And are you open to other musical accompaniments? Is there a way that people might be able to participate in that music development aspect?
Yeah, if there's someone who is good at programming, because I have or have an instrument they're really good at. I think Mary, he's playing the guitar, and I just had a loop. I was practicing to African style, and then take it from there.
Okay.
So I've actually been singing up until now. I can't hardly stop.
Can I ask you for a tiny prelude?
Prelude? Oh, yeah. I don't know if we can do that. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, actually.
Well, that means just spelt it out, sister. from my point of view, but that's okay. I should be more patient. I'm so eager to hear what you're doing.
Yes.
There's no copyright on it, is there?
No, we do it. It's no copyright. It's just a fellow project, and it's for we're doing in this foundation.
So we could play it and it wouldn't interfere with anything that way?
No, it won't. It's just as it is. No copyrights, no problem with all this.
Would you like to play a little bit for us, or is it not ready yet for that kind of public?
Maybe. I don't know. I have changed it again one more time. I don't know if Mario is listening right now. I have sent something to him, but now I changed it again. I can actually play some, but then I have to bounce it down. You must give me some minutes, so maybe 10 minutes, and then I can come back.
I think that would be fun if you do that. That sounds great.
If you can, it's actually maybe just an open process. You can listen, and because this is just an idea, it can change a bit. It can change a lot.
Well, it might inspire others to want to contribute, and maybe they can sort of even record it or to lay down their own track and send that to you and so on. We can start.
Or they can get together under the community site group that I created.
Right. Thank you, Vince. Good idea. That was KF Music, I think it was called, wasn't it?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
So that's in the community just to let people know, it's in the community.keshefoundation.org site and KF Music group, and you could join that. And I think we could put files there, and people could contribute and that kind of thing. Is communicate back and forth.
Yes,
okay.
That's funny. Or it's more than funny, actually those words, they're really deep, so it can be done in many ways, but we talked about last week, as you remember, we talked a bit about it could be a funny song or it could be a glad song, and that's what I have been working with, a more just a simple song.
Okay. Yep. We talked about that in terms of like kids songs, or that sort of basic, sort of easy to understand sort of thing coming out of it. Well, we're just ready in anticipation here.
Your 10 minutes have started, Pia. Come back.
Okay.
You got it, sister.
Maybe
and look forward to it.
Yeah, can I send the file to Rick's email or something? Because then you can play it, or you can play it.
Sure, that can work. Yep.
Yeah, so I'll bounce it down in a little file, and then it's just a little test. You can
sure.
get.
Yep.
Okay. So
Thank
10
you,
minutes
Pia.
or something like that, you can call me again.
Thank you so much for doing that, Pia.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got Nicola with a hand up here, and I'm not sure, I don't see a microphone, but I'll allow you to talk and see if it comes through when we do that. Ah, I see a microphone there now. So you should be able to speak there now, Nicola. Hello? I see your mic's open.
Hey.
And oh, hello?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
How can I help?
You had your hand open. Did you want to speak?
Oh no, sorry, I must have pushed it by mistake.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a great opportunity. Is there anything you wanted to say to the world?
I don't think, no, I don't think so for now.
Okay. Sorry to put you on the spot there.
Don't worry.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Okay, is there anybody else who has something they'd like to bring forward at this point?
Hello, Rick, it's Doug.
Oh, hi, Doug.
Listening to the Polish teaching earlier, I was just astonished that they were talking in their language, and when Mr. Chin was talking in his language, and when people are speaking in their native language, maybe a few years ago, I would have gone, oh no, that's foreign or strange, and change channels or not listen. But it seems that now I can appreciate and enjoy listening to all the different languages as easily, and somehow understand them as easily as I can understand English. And I think that's a big change, and it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, actually, I too noticed that how smoothly the languages seem to meld in today. It just seemed to be like we don't usually do a lot of languages in this particular grouping here, but today it just seemed to be a natural way to go about things and worked really smoothly. Thank you for the translators, by the way, that helped facilitate that as well.
Rick?
Yes.
I have something to share more.
Okay.
Because I'm researching about a health of the human. I am learning in the Chinese medicine. I practicing acupuncture without a needle.
Right. Well, Mr. Chan, I don't know if we want to get into any of the health specifics in the public here now, because we kind of phased out.
Because I apply the plasma and a combination with the Chinese medicine. Like this week, I have a pain about a sciatic nerve, and I put a patch, and I do something. It becomes stronger because I put a stone of basalt. You know a stone of basalt, a volcanic stone. I hit it, and I put under the patch, and I put on my body. The patch is become very, very strong, because the patch only is weak. When we put the basalt stone, hit basalt stone under the patch, they active the patch more stronger. I think it's 1,000 more stronger because because my pain go out at once.
Okay. Just so people understand, it's a little hard for you to understand. It was a pain in your sciatic nerve, I believe you said, in your leg, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know what that's like. I went through a few years of extreme pain with that myself when I was younger.
Yeah, I put a patch. For the first time, I put only the patch. It's not very strong, but I put the hitting basalt stone on the same place. The patch work very, very, very strong.
You put the patch on first and then the stone on top of the patch?
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
If I may, if you have sciatic pain, it means you have hit or bumped your toes or your foot or you twisted your ankle. That's usually the majority why sciatic problems start in the first place, because you change the way you walk, because you try to avoid the painful spot. You created imbalance in your body. Mr. Keshe has tried to explain this a few times in the teachings. Go to an osteopath and ask them to pull all your toes on both feet. And then pull the ankle and then stretch the leg. The osteopaths usually know. And you only need to ask and go through this procedure about 2, maximum 3 times. You will feel the pain disappearing. It is just to remember, if it's an old sciatic pain, you have to try to go back into your memory. When did you twist your ankle, or when did you kick your foot or your toes into a chair or a whatever? You have changed the way you position yourself, and it can be released very fast. If you can't or you don't know an osteopath, just ask somebody to pull your toes one at a time, starting with the small one to the big one on both legs. And then jerk, holding the whole foot, supporting the ankle and holding the toes on the top. I'm going to try to see if I can find some images of this that it can be presented for people to understand. We had somebody from our teams which came with an enormous pain in the back, and within 5 minutes, the person was up and walking with a lot less pain. And 2 days later, the pain was nearly fully gone. But this is a procedure you have to repeat for 2 to 3 times within a few days in between, which means nearly a week, so that the body can reposition itself and you are released from sciatic pain. And if it reoccurs, just do the procedure again. You realign your body so fast. If you really don't have nobody to help you, you can correct yourself by walking like the soldiers which are walking in Buckingham Palace, which is the right, left, up, walking like a scissor. You cross your left arm towards your right leg in a stretch and you walk forward. That also realigns the body very fast. And that was a trick somebody told me, that they said, the people who are walking like this, they don't know, but it keeps the whole army in line and in balance. So these are a few more tips to add to something which is causing so much pain that can be rectified so fast. Even a chiropractor or an osteopath or even a gym teacher, they know how. Just pull and you will realign yourself very fast. Thank you for sharing, Mr.
Thank you. Because what you explained, I'm learning about the meridian of the body. If you put something on your tooth, the flow of the plasma go on the meridian, and they can have too much for the for balance our body. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
to walk away from the medical aspects. Anyone, any ideas how we're going to tackle faster and more on aggression? Have we stopped sending the invitations to the governments, to our mayors, to our whoever you know you can reach to sign up for peace? How many people are still sending the letters out with the invitations? Is anybody still occupied with sending these letters out? Or have we moved on to the soul level of sending these invitations out, which is working faster? Or has anyone any adding to how we can progress on that level? Have we really realized how strong we are with the power of the soul? Or are there still questions that would like to be answered? It's time to put them on the table so we can discuss them. Anybody, any sharing on that? As I announced at the beginning, the charter is coming to the finishing point. There is a lot of work ahead of us. And I mean a lot of work. Can anyone share on how we can make sure we can extend equality for mankind, but to be kind to mankind?
Well, the chats are, as Flint says, all broadcast chats are pretty quiet today. So we're not getting a lot of input on that level. But I can feel in the air there is this intent that we can do something without having to even manifest it in the way of voice or chat, writing it down or whatever. But by focusing, it's like we have this latent potential right now. And by just simply focusing on something or on some issue, some area, some aspect, then that's where a certain kind of work can get done. That's where some change can occur, some difference can occur on the matter level, or on something material can actually happen, it seems. Or at least that's a nice effort to make towards some direction. So if we look toward, we were at one point giving to the leaders of the world and had a strong push there. And like you said, we had the people writing peace treaty and letters of peace and so on to their leaders. And it seems like no one responded when you asked whether that's continuing. But I know, and I'm very sure that lots of people have continued with this idea of giving toward the leaders to elevate their souls, to elevate the situations that are occurring on the planet and perhaps even elsewhere. And there's no doubt that that's going on. Okay, we have, go ahead. There's Barbara with her hand up, I'm thinking.
Yes. Hello.
Oh, hi, go ahead.
Yes, I'm not so familiar with my new family already, but I would like to know where I can find this invitations and this papers to this theme, and if I could send it or deliver it to another person, and whether it's meant to be sent it to anyone or only to the government people or to anyone, or and personally or per mail or per telephone, or whether it's only for people in the councils and in the core. So I don't have any idea at the moment what I'm allowed to do or what I should do or what I should not do. So it's
that's easy to explain. We had last August the World Peace Treaty, which the whole procedure was live for days on end. All the teams were working all together to get those documents signed. And I hope Rick or Flint or Vince can repost the link where you can find those documents, the letters, and they can be sent to whoever you desire to send them to. There is no limitation. In the Keshe Foundation, we work without limit. Okay. Whatever you want to send that you think it will set off a spark for them to start reacting, we made sure it goes into writing and signed, because we need to leave a paper trail track behind. But at the same time, we work on soul level through the teachings of Mr. Keshe, what he has explained and taught and inspired us to change, to understand where the soul is and how we can operate through the soul much faster. As we have achieved peace in Togo, we have changed so many things by simply making a wish and then confirming that you're present in giving or adding your energy to that wish, which is giving from your soul. The beauty in this is that we always say you are unlimited and you can do. And you don't need no confirmation or acknowledgement or a yes or a no, or you can or you can't from nobody. You got to work through your ethics of understanding what is right and what is wrong.
Mm.
And I welcome you as a new member of the Keshe family, as you mentioned yourself, which is beautiful.
Thank you.
I know it's a new journey. It's a different path. We just try to inspire people to work through the soul level. And if you have any questions, just bring them forward. One of us will try to support you or explain to you if you haven't fully understood, or don't worry, we are there. You can put them into the chats. You can come into the chat rooms on our social media network, which I encouraged a lot of knowledge seekers to go back to, even the council members, core teams, to keep on posting their messages out, or encouraging or explaining or helping or supporting, or just simply answering questions for people which, like you, come in new to get the guidance to connect. And then in your path of your search, you will bump into the people if you're in agriculture or you're in medical or you're just trying to explore. You're welcome in any of them. So if you have any more questions, just bring them on the table.
Yes, is this in every language now already, the paper, or only in English? Or
I think this is translated in 18 different languages. I do not know where you are from.
Oh, I'm from Germany, but I'm living in Paraguay, South America.
In Paraguay, so you know the two languages.
Yes, see.
Yeah, it is in German. And it is in Spanish. And it is in Portuguese. And in English. And in French. So you can also find the...
Is it also in Arabic?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Because the council members from the Universal Council, they have done the translation. They worked hard on it. It was not easy because of the interpretation. What are you as a native?
I'm native German. So my mother language is German.
Good. There are council members here, so if you come through Facebook, you can put your connections out.
I don't use Facebook. But
you don't.
I think it's no problem. There are another places, chats, and
yeah.
I think I will find. It's no the problem of connection in general. Only because of this, I was asking what's the policy, whether the Keshe Foundation have a special policy to go into public or not. How, I mean, yeah.
Oh, we are more than in public. The people have even
everywhere.
posted, people have posted where they have sent the letters. At that time, it was very, very busy. That's why I'm bringing up a reminder, if people are still writing their letters, if they're still sending them out, if they have introduced the Constitution to wherever they send their letters of invitation for peace, for world peace, and soon to send the charter out once that one is coming into public, to send those off to their governments and to their wherever they want to send them. It is a public knowledge, so it can be shared. And it is nice if people can send them by email, by hard copy. It leaves a trace behind that the work has been done to inspire people. And when you put your intent before you even send the letter out, as the gentleman at the beginning was explaining about the woman that didn't need to be transplanted with a plastic hip.
Yes.
And they postponed the operation because of the understanding of the knowledge and how it works. you can change a lot.
Yes, I believe. Oh, I know.
I thank you.
Just as a reminder,
Thank you.
there's 2 links in the chat that you can check out.
I've seen it.
Okay, with the Constitution, and it's in many languages there. And also, people can also click on the general keshefoundation.org site, and you can go to the Peace Movement banner there and go through. There's conferences, World Peace Treaty, the Peace Roadmap, Peace Blueprint, One Nation, and EC Constitution and Commandments are all in that one section. And then there's another section under councils for the Universal Council and the Earth Council. So there's a lot of material there in regards to world peace.
Yes, I have one more question, Rick, because I was searching for this map, which I 1 year ago maybe looked in, where everybody could point his location all over the world, so that I can search other people in my surrounding which are working with the Keshe Foundation.
You can go to the community.keshefoundation.org site, and it has
I only found the contributors.
Pardon me?
I only found there the contributors, yeah, but not the private people.
Do you want to have contact someone that's doing workshops, you mean, or you want
No, who just is interested in that field, so that I can know the people if there are anyone in the surrounding.
I'm not sure, Vince, what would you suggest on that? Or there's, for example, you can start a group of whatever area you'd like to include, and then try to, you can post a notice in the forum or some other place and try to communicate with people to meet in that group. Anything you suggest, Vince, along those lines?
I think there's already a couple of German groups, so she should be able to look through there and see what she can find out. Klaus might also be able to enlighten us a little bit more as well, where she can find some German groups.
I'm not speaking about Germany, I'm speaking about Paraguay, because I'm living in Paraguay.
Right, good point. So would you want a Spanish group? Would you want a language group, or would you want an area group?
An international one, it's better, I think.
Because there's different ways. Do you need local friends to visit, like locally, or do you want to connect with people around the world? This is sort of one
both.
of the...
I mean, both, but the more important for me is now to find people here, local people or foreigners, igual, it doesn't matter, but anyhow, to find people who are interested or who are already connected. This is
I see,
anyhow.
I see, Barbara, that Ursula is saying that tomorrow there is a Spanish workshop at 9 o'clock Rome time. So you can meet people in the Spanish speaker and they will guide you who is where if you come into the teachings. So I post, that's why it's very handicapped if you're not working through Facebook. But if you can get a contact of Ursula, she might get you, or Alvaro or Fernando. There are a lot of Spanish people that can guide you where you want to be and how you can meet.
Yes,
Barbara.
Yes.
What part of Paraguay? I'm here in Misiones, right by, next door.
Yes, and in Argentina or in Paraguay?
Yes, in Argentina.
Yes.
I'm in Oberá.
So, let's go in contact. In contact.
And I'll be in the Spanish-speaking class tomorrow.
In private Spanish group or what?
No, it's public. I think.
I'm sorry. I mean, but the Spanish group, the official public Spanish group.
This is the teaching class. Then there are different groups here in Argentina also. You got the Keshe Argentina and there's several other groups here.
Yeah.
So there is a public in Spanish teaching. That would be at 9 p.m. Wednesday. Is that the way it goes? I think, right, John?
Yeah,
that's 9 p.m. CET on Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, it's 5 p.m. Argentine time. Paraguay has the same timetable.
Yes. Right.
Well, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we're having this teaching class.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. Okay.
In Spanish.
I try to attend.
Fine, good.
Then,
you have the link, Barbara?
Yeah, so I was going to say maybe
it's in the timetable.
She can go to join that meeting, John.
Sorry, you both spoke at the same time. Yes.
I was just going to say, make sure that she has the information to be able to get to that teaching.
Yeah, she has the number already.
I have the timetable from this week.
Yeah.
From all teachings, and that will be right.
Fantastic.
Yeah, right on the right-hand side of the timetable.
Yes, I know. Okay, and what's your name in Argentina, in Misiones?
John, I'm John Wells,
okay.
Juan Wells.
Okay.
I'm in Novedad, Misiones.
See, okay, thank you.
You can find me in Facebook if you want also.
Yeah, I don't want Facebook.
Don't worry.
Yeah, okay, then I will attend the meeting tomorrow and then we can talk again. Okay, Don?
Perfectly well. Be hearing you tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
This is Estela. I just want to say that the Keshe Foundation and these meetings helped me to connect with John. And to Wednesday, I'm gonna be in Misiones in Oberá. I'm gonna meet John, and we're gonna go to see a farm that using plasma water. And I just want to share that I'm very excited that I'm coming to see John and see the application of John has been working with some farmers over there. And I'm going to try to bring mate to America, the United States. So this Spanish group is international. So I just want to say that it's a little bit what you like, you know, international people, they speak Spanish, but they live in different places. So we are all connected here. So just want to add that.
Yes,
thank you, John.
Great. That's great. Thank you very much. But I'm not so close to Misiones that I could just easily come as their organization. So, but we will see. One day I will come personally.
Maybe they could come to you.
Oh, Igor, it's the same. Igor.
Maybe you can meet in the middle.
Are you in Asunción?
No, I am in Eusebio Ayala. It's close to Cacope, Ruta dos. Yeah, so in Cordillera.
Well, we always meet by the means like we are right now, and that's the important thing, is just making the connection. And it's nice to meet in person too, of course. But as Ursula mentions, there's every Wednesday at this Spanish teaching, there's 23 Spanish countries working together every Wednesday. So that's interesting that it's spread out around the world. So we adapt.
Yes, right.
That
Yeah,
just makes your
good.
heart stretch further.
Yes, thank you very much.
The Spanish community has been growing very slowly, but it is growing faster and faster every day now. And I'm glad that Alvaro is back. He went through a dip, but he's back and supporting the teachers wherever he can. And I'm grateful for all the work you have been doing to get the Spanish community to work in all its different shapes and forms and colors. And it is beautiful. Now, how can we work not only by giving, but let's say we know the intent is there, we know the soul is there, but how do we construct it in long-term path? What are we essentially going to wanting how to recreate to achieve peace?
A vision.
You know, it's like you're an architect and you have an idea. You first gonna have to imagine how beautiful the house is that you want to build. The land, the environment, the view, the quality, the structure, the stability, how big it's going to be, how many people it's going to house, all the facilitating of water, electricity, whatever you can name, is all has to be in place in the head of the architect. Now, I would love people to start creating that architecture, the view, what we need on ingredients in that image for it to be noted down, what we are all going to add. This is not in a wish list, but that we are going to add to this charter. What do we need to structure? Infinite. There is no end, there is no limitation. But to structure our thoughts and the vision we have that needs to be done to pave the path for peace.
Can I give an idea?
Of course, Jalal.
Good evening, everybody. Good day. Hey, Jalal from Iraq. I'm living in Sweden. I think everyone, I noticed from yesterday, and that bring me big thinking. Every one of us have a gift. If he search for what he have from gifts and work in it and share it, I think we will achieve a lot. Because yesterday in the Polish teaching, it was really mind-blowing. I was really speechless because I think every one of us have the soul of God, and this spectrum of colors, it have millions and millions and millions of things we do not know about it. we do not think that we could have it, but we have it. 100%, I am sure we have it, every one of us. So please search for it. You have a beautiful gift, but maybe you don't know about it, maybe. Stay with yourself, ask your physicality, ask your emotion, ask your soul for this gift, because you want to give it. That is the key. Ask for your gift, what you have, to give it, and you will find it 100%. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Jalal. I always love the way you introduce yourself. Yep, we're gonna have to be architectures for the structure of the input from our gift into the construction of the world peace.
May I say something?
Sure.
It's better to say framework. It's like a new frame. It's a structure, but it's like we throw away the old frames of at different levels and we rebuild a new one. And the vision is the main concept of this new framework structures that guide and control, and they are the principles how they manifest the new reality. So a vision is shared, but the means and the way how you do it, that's where there is some flexibility, freedom, but you take the principles and you go for it and you do it. You're part of the co-creation. And this is a co-creation, a shared vision. Anyway, that's what I just want to say.
Thank you. So people, maybe it would be nice from whoever knows his gift to maybe to step forward and add his gift to the list of this wishing. Not wishing, but literally adding what you are best at, what you know about yourself that you can add.
Well,
can anyone?
Violet mentions in the chat that she can talk a bit. Well, she mentions a bit about my health, or talk about what I've mailed and what I'm working on in the wall of getting the World Peace Treaty, in the way of getting the World Peace Treaty out to lawmakers. She's got her oxygen turned on now and her mic is ready to go. So perhaps she'll have something that will be, that we can use here. Violet, would you like to go ahead?
Hi, Rick. Hi, Carolina. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm so grateful to be here with everyone and anyone who will listen in the future. Didn't know where to jump in, Carolina. Didn't know if you would like me to discuss a little bit about my health and how the foundation and Gaines has assisted me in remaining here on the planet, quite a bit past what the doctors thought was my expiration date. Or if you would prefer me to discuss, I guess I'll call it my letter writing campaign, that I did quite a bit of during the Peace Treaty signing event this summer and World Peace Day. But of course, here in the US, we had the presidential election, so it continued forward. So I can describe to you what is moving forward on that front or the health front. You tell me what time is available for you all.
So you already have 2 gifts to put on the table.
Okay. The health then you would like me to discuss first?
You share your inspiration. We listen.
Okay. Let's see, just to give a quick synopsis. Approximately October of 2015, I was basically told to get my affairs in order. Looking at approximately 6 months to get myself together, close my company, all that doodah. Because I had been given this time because I have 2 major conditions. On a personal note, even further, I was born hypersensitive to chemicals. I have rarely been able to take mainstream medications. Even as a baby, I had, according to my parents, a compounding pharmacist just to make soap for my skin. I was that sensitive. But over the years, my lungs have become so destroyed from the environment and also autoimmune diseases that, are just such a long list of them that I had struggled with. But these complications basically brought my body to its knees. I was down to 82 pounds. I'm approximately 5'5", so yeah, bag of bones is what I was. Let's see, it was approximately January that a friend of mine came to me first with, she had a pain pen. And oh, do I love the pain pen. And then that's all it took. Then she got her first Energizer alkalizer, and she was pouring gallons of water into me, plasma water that is, from the alkalized energizers that the Italy factory was producing. That water in and of itself helped me just to start purging all of the toxins that were in my body. I've lost teeth. I have mercury poisoning. The list just goes on. However, through the use of the 4, and actually I only use 2 of the 4 main, I use the CO2 and the zinc oxide, ZNO, Gaines waters. I drink approximately 60, and this is just me personally. I tell people to please experiment, what is your body like? Mine obviously is different because I was born this way. So, experiment with what you're comfortable with. I use 60 milliliters. It's the equivalent of about 2 ounces of the CO2 and the zinc. I drink them separately just so that the energy fields are still 100% each as they're going through me. So I do that 3 times a day, and then I use the bubbler to bubble, and those I mix 50-50 into the bubbler. and I breathe that. When I started, I was on 2 different kinds of medications 4 times a day through the nebulizing system, and on oxygen constantly. Couldn't go across the room without the oxygen, or I was under 80 in my numbers for my oxygen saturation. Since working with the gains in the plasma waters, and I have little health rings that I've made with the waters as well. I now generally, occasionally when I'm having flares, I have to use a little more, but generally I am down to using 1 medication twice a day and the other one once a day. I now am over 90 something pounds. I'm going to say I'm probably 94 to 95 pounds, which is wonderful. I'm able to walk across the room, and I can actually walk away from the oxygen as long as I'm not going to exert myself or try to talk too much. So I'm seeing wonderful improvements there. From my mixed connective tissue disease side, I'm having a lot of reduction in my inflammation in different areas, which has been wonderful, and that is progressing well also. So that's what I have to say for now on the health. Thank you very, very, very much. I'm so appreciative. Like I said, I'm well beyond my expiration date and intend to keep going. I have things that I need to do for the foundation and for humanity and all other beings. And I thank you, Caroline and Mr. Keshe, and everyone who's ever been and who will ever be part of the Knowledge Seekers and the Keshe Foundation. Thank you.
Violet, I was wondering, that was beautiful, by the way, but were you talking about from last year, like a year ago, or from just this last January? You're talking about a year ago, I think, right?
Right. It's been a year. It's been a year ago, January. Yeah.
A year and a month or something like that, let's say.
Yes.
Okay, just to clarify.
Yes.
Yes, amazing story. I know just to hear your voice now, your voice sounds different, much more confident and alive, and you had sort of trouble speaking before and so on. In fact, I think you didn't want to talk at one point because it was so difficult for you to speak. But now you're speaking. I hear your voice coming through loud and clear. And someone says, Yasmin says, "Gracias, Violet. You are a plasma engineer and a wonder and love woman."
Well, that's true. I do love everyone. She definitely is right there. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, Caroline, is there something we should put down about that?
It is recorded. I'm thinking to wait for the second part. I think this first part will be added to the testimonies. And also something I want to share before you carry on is that Ursula has been working with some other people to find all the specific teachings about the soul from Mr. Keshe, so that you can go dead on, spot on, and listen to what you want to hear or share with somebody else. They are getting collected in the background to be added to the charter so that people can go and find the wisdom in the wise knowledge Mr. Keshe is sharing. And then maybe as it has been done by so many others, to share it with so many others. It's a door opener, but it's not to skip all, but to go to specific points when you have certain things you want to share with certain people at a certain moment, that you can locate them, that you can find them. This is the topic that I want to share with those people because it's necessary now for them to hear. So I'm 100% sure that Danny Moore and some other people which are working on the testimonials, they will pick your story out, so it will be added to the testimonials. I think your gift will come up now with what you're about to share with us about the letters. Because this is in the framework of the adding. The first part was for you to be able to do it. So you're always welcome. And if you need any assistance or any guidance, our teams are there. Rick knows the way. So you're welcome anytime to ask for assistance, or if you have or in need of anything, we are there for all of you. So please do share your second. What I think will give people an idea about the structure of the path to world peace, to what Jalal shared with us, to share your own gift and explain how you carry out your own gift.
Thank you, Carolina, very, very much. Before I forget, and don't type it in the message, what I'm thinking you need is 50-50 CO2, ZNO, a couple of drops of peppermint, a couple of drops of eucalyptus, and a couple of drops of tea tree oil, and spray that around you. Just because I hear your voice, my dear.
Yes, thank you very much. I just got a very nasty cold, and I got it under control for 2 days. And then I bumped into somebody who was so sick, so it set it all off again. And it's quite okay because I was on my worst this morning, and I'm applying the Gans waters and the lavender, and that's why I'm still having a voice to share with you. But I'm in no pain. I'm not suffering. It's just I have to. The funny thing is that when you have such a nasty cold, I shouldn't be able to even speak to you today. But because of the Gans water and the mixture I've been using, I have no pain, but I have to go through the sequence of having that cold or that flu, but without pain, without snotting, without headache. It's still going through because it has to go somewhere. It has to dissolve and it needs time. But it has kept me, preventing me from losing my voice. So thank you very much. I am using a lot of essential oils to keep me going.
Very good. I knew you would. Over the summer, when Mr. Keshe and you and everyone got together for the signing of the World Peace Treaty, it was such a wonderful time to see everyone coming together with such unity and the visions. And of course, we live in different areas of the world where we're ruled by different rulers with different styles of ruling and different laws and different customs. So what I do may not work where you are, but I think the principles will probably still apply. And I can speak for myself only, but the ridicule when people, they think, oh, I'm going to be ridiculed or someone's going to, think I'm crazy. It all doesn't matter when it comes right down to it. If we want peace, we want peace. And you can't get peace unless you can't get something if you don't ask for it. So this summer, during the, and they were all day, 6 hours plus some days. And I'm grateful for everything you did, Rick and Flint and everyone behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. Tremendous, tremendous work to bring peace. And during that time, I started writing letters and I did some Facebook contact. For example, Nikki Haley, who is our representative there at the good old United Nations. I interfaced with her, both. I'm old school. I did it via Facebook. I did President Trump via Facebook, but I like pen and paper because multiple people have to touch it. Plus I can spray it with my CO2 and my zinc and all of my wonderful plasma fields of love that I send in the envelope. So I just wrote a letter from my heart saying, please consider this. And at that time we had a date specific. So it was mailed with date specific, be there or be square basically, with the intention and knowing that the realism of the fact that, no president is going to be able to drop what they're doing and get there however they should. This is about peace. But the realism is it wasn't going to manifest that way. So in that vein, in keeping these going, I am in Arizona. Not only am I in the US, I am in Arizona. We have two senators here, one McCain, who is in charge of the military commission, I guess I'll call them. It has a name that's escaping me right now. But he has been ill. We also have Jeff Flake, who was at the ball field when the senators were shot at, and the one senator was shot and injured pretty severely. So having both of those people as part of the federal government representing my state, they were pretty powerful players at the time. So reaching out to them, it was pretty easy to connect from the standpoint of we've got to discuss the violence that the GOP at the time was seeing, physical attacks with weapons, and of course John McCain, he has his health issues, so it's almost like a balancing act. The foundation not only can help you to heal physically, but we can heal the planet and stop killing each other. We don't have to do this. We can come to peace. And so I've just started that campaign. Of course, you get your occasional thank you for contacting the office, but that's okay, because the way I print everything and get it in the mail, somebody has to open it. Somebody has to see it. And if I keep sending them, eventually somebody's going to read it. And again, it's old school mentality of getting it physically in their hands and someone having to see it. I've been discussing with the younger groups that aren't quite ready to vote yet, maybe this year, maybe next. and bringing to their attention where the majority of the politicians and the lawmakers actually come from, which is school district boards. So if they're paying attention to who's getting on their school district boards, if they don't like those people, if those people are not well-meaning people, and will those people sign themselves personally to the World Peace Treaty? Because if they won't, they're not getting my vote. The more of us that realize that the people we pick, you don't have to pick them. I know everybody says, well, then you're throwing your vote away. But in good conscience, I can't vote for somebody that isn't willing to stand up for peace. So I've thrown my vote away anyway. At least I'm trying to do something. But with the young ones, if they're complaining about the school districts and the way the schools are, that is their first initiation, I guess, into politics. They need to see that that is where these people come from a lot of times. They move up into then the county or the city councils, and then from there to the state, House of Representatives within the state and state government, and then onwards and upwards. So if you put the right people in place from the bottom, only the right people can elevate up that chain. So the letters that I write right now are basically to the people that are throwing their hat into the ring because Jeff Flake has decided he's not going to seek another term. So there's a lot of politicians jockeying for position, so to speak. And so I'm lining up through my local county registrar's office. I'm keeping tabs on who's throwing their hat into the ring. And they are getting a World Peace Treaty. This is kind of the early calling card, because as the political season starts to wind up, is when I'm going to start sending more, because people need to see things multiple times. So the first few are just the letters introducing and with a copy of the World Peace Treaty. And then I do want to, when they start to fall off the amount of people running for that position, then sending the Constitution. As far as Trump, he's already got his, quite a few. I just automatically have sent them as they've been coming approved. So that's what I do. I try working with the kids so that the kids can understand. And now with this horrible shooting in Florida, it's sad, but our babies are having to stand up for themselves. And these young ones, 16, 17, 18 years old, are planning a march on Washington in the month of March because they're done. We're not doing it. As parents, we're not protecting our babies. And they've had enough of watching their friends die. So these kids already got it. We just need to help guide them. Thank you, Carolina.
You're welcome. People start waking up. We all have witnessed this, and we are all witnessing. We are in a progress of the change. And I'm so glad with what you said. Somebody will open, somebody will read, somebody's eyes will fall on those writings, and somewhere it will spark something somewhere, even if it's not at the moment they're getting read, or they will trigger something somewhere because you worked with the intent of, you knew exactly what you did before you send them out. Thank you for this. And this is the paper trail we are leaving behind. Because nobody can say it's not been done. It's not just spoken word, and it's just not loose promises. It is growing and it's getting established. That's why we kept on asking everywhere. Quite a few times I asked in public, please people, step forward, your knowledge seekers. What is your capability? Where are you located? That in case of crisis or whatever, for whatever, that we can interlock and interlink and know one another, as Barbara just asked too. Can I please find out who is around me so I can link up, I can start sharing, I can know, I can find my way. It's not only for you, it's a network you set up, which is invisible at this moment. You might see, oh, it is more important than you can even imagine, because you spread the field strength. And as Mr. Keshe has explained, soon we will be able to visually see this field strength of the plasma. A lot of people, it has not been understood how powerful this field strength is. I thought that with Tom Salas, it would have really opened a lot of doors of understanding. And Mr. Keshe is still giving more and more information about it. You are so powerful when you work with grants, because you work with the inspiring, the knowledge, and the giving. You are that walking field. And it's when you connect and make the connections that you extend literally your own field strength to other field strengths. I always, because I was shocked, I was absolutely, you know, sometimes you say you're gobsmacked, but I was gobsmacked when Mr. Keshe answered me. When I simply asked him the question, I said, Mehran, there's so many souls crying, there's so many people crying. Why has this not made that difference? Why has it not changed? Or only in small measures, but never to this big change as we are seeing happening through the Keshe Foundation? And he simply said, it could not. I said, but why? I said, did you understand what I was asking? He says, yeah. He said, because it was never wished for all. It was always personal wishes, personal improvements, personal betterment, personal intent, but never towards the sharing and the giving to reach all the souls. And that has brought the change, and that's why everything is moving now. And that still, even now today, the way he explained, it made sense. Because when you see people devastated in really bad situations, you might put your attention to this one person or to those few, but you're never going to wish it for the whole of humanity. And that's the only link which we were missing, which is now happening with the understanding. It has changed. And that's why it's changing so fast every day. And the energy is changing. because now we don't consider ourselves anymore just us or a few. We make sure we cover and reach out to as many as we can. And thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Caroline.
I know a lot of knowledge seekers, which in so many ways would have not been there anymore. But you answered it why. They're still there and they're even stronger and becoming stronger and stronger. Because they want to serve humanity. And that has not what you shared with us with the letters and not your physical problems. But you have brought the gift. I have so much work to do for the foundation to serve humanity. Sorry for that.
Oh my. May I say something, Carolina?
Sure, because I'm going to have to go
catch your
through my
breath?
coffee. Yeah.
It's Violet again, and I just want to share a funny with you that I have said since I was in my early 20s. God put me on this planet to accomplish a certain amount of tasks. I am so far behind, I may never be allowed to die. And that was my funny.
That's the secret to eternal life.
That's right. Be
Just
busy.
get a job, a real job.
Just be busy.
Well, it's what you're busy with that makes the difference. And like Caroline said, it's this new compassion we have for everyone on the planet, and that we're sort of all in it together, and we are like one being. And this is becoming more and more evident as we go along, it seems. Perhaps we could hear from Rick. Rick, other than myself, who had his hand up earlier. Do you still want to speak about something there, Rick?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Good morning. This is Rick from Colorado, and I have a poem I wanted to share that kind of speaks to walking away from aggression. I think it's appropriate for what we're talking about today. And can you hear me well? Should I just read it?
Yes, you're coming through clear. Go ahead.
Okay. I called it Unite. Almighty wonder, why have you gone? Enchanted spirit, I've come undone. Lace up my heartstrings, I must carry on. The earth is on fire, we still are not one. In your light we laugh, we live, and we love. We relished our gifts sent from above. Oblivious, no doubt, how bright your light shines, we hid in the shadow and coveted thy shrine. We kept what was sacred, all tucked up and hid, and shared simple nothings, claiming to do what we could. The time has come now to do what we should. Let's stand together, it could change the mood. World of splendor, release our cocoon. Spiral up and shine bright, whether it's night or it's noon. The people of earth unraveled, full bloom. Bewildered by borders, divisions untied. Neighbors become brothers, and brothers unite. Hindsight 2020, we can see it was right to stand up in unison, scarred by the fight, and embrace one another with all of our might. Without any other, no enemies recede. Unification complete, oneness succeeds. Almighty wonder welcomes us home. Enchanted spirit, I've come undone. Atonement so precious, totality, one. Redemption abound, unity, one.
Well, from one Rick to another, thank you very much, Rick.
Thank you, sharing.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
I want to say thank you to Violet. It's nice to hear her talking also.
Yeah,
So
she
beautiful.
talks very good. She's talking very good, as Rick said.
She's got real diplomat tone there. I think any leader would be unwise not to listen to that voice.
Come on, people, share your beauties.
We have Dean. Dean, let me allow you to talk and you can go ahead. Okay, you should be able to speak there now. You'll have to unmute your mic, Dean. I can do that for you, but I'm not sure what's on the other end yet. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. I am present. Blessings. Now can I be heard?
Yes, very well. Thank you.
Oh, I always get a little bit nervous when I'm going to speak, because when I speak with command and I speak with creation. I'm going to tell a little story. 40 plus years ago, I was taken into a place, I call it the place of light or the place of throne room. And I was given a vision and told something. It said, you will have everything you need in order to complete what you were sent for. Well, I've been working on that for 40 years, and I'll give you a little bit of background. 7 years ago, I discovered something which is an agricultural implement, and it takes and aerobically digests material, waste material, and makes it so that it is ready to be planted with, either to be planted with green leafy vegetables, trees, or planted with fungus. Now the fungus, this machine turns out 40 to 50 yards of material a day. And within a period of 4 or 5 days, by inoculating it with fungus and bacterium, you can create a material that will do bioremediation on almost anything, because we can train the fungus to eat anything. Now, I have been following Mr. Keshe and this process for a long time. I am personally involved with a group, and I can't give the name quite yet, but we look like we have funding, and it actually is funding in order to put together a city of 500,000 people, building and everything. And it is called it is going to be a city of science, education, and culture. Little side, for about 8 years, I've been designing public art for this city because I knew it would happen, because I spoke it forth. I prayed, I fasted, I have worked both in the spirit and within the physical on bringing this to pass. So, agreement, because
Hello? I think we lost your...
not a sovereign, or a...
Sorry, your internet just cut out.
Am I here now?
Yes, you're here now.
Hello? Okay.
Go ahead, Dean. Oops, he cut out there. Something happened. I think Dean dropped out. Oh, here he is back again. It's just, I'm going to promote you actually to panelists, so maybe it might make it more secure somehow. Okay, Dean, you want to try it again there? You'll have to unmute your microphone again.
There we go. Hey, wow,
Okay.
You know what? I guess it says I can't start video. If I was able to start video, I would have actually let you see me. Once again, blessings. Anyway, I have a group of people like the group at Keshe Foundation who have been working on this project and getting together. We have been together twice a week on Zoom, 4 hours each time, going through how to actually bring about a situation that is in balance for all of humanity and the rest of the biosphere, the air, the water, etc. There is so much stuff that's about to break loose as far as the peace. Because as Mr. Keshe and the council has been working, so have we been working on an international basis. One of the things that I'm looking forward to doing is to be able to integrate the Keshe. Well, I'm going to be able to put together a city probably of 10,000 people and in the United States. And that particular place, I would like to make sure that the Keshe Foundation has a place that we can discover things together. It's been quite a ride. Some of the people, one of the people who is within my symposium is also a person who has been following Keshe very, very closely for a long time. I don't really have much more to say except that I have the gift of the public arts and agriculture. And it looks like there's going to, and as well as that, there's going to be financing that's coming available. I would say that we, with our intention and our work, and you and I and one of my family, my symposium, has been following, as I have said. And I would say I'm declaring peace is going to break out. The necessity of the currencies in order to manifest what we need is here. And I'm just saying that I am really excited that we are going to be working together. And this is just an aside, and then I'm going to get off. But one of the greatest things that I have been seeing within the teachings of the Keshe Foundation is the teaching on the soul and how creation actually happens. And the fact that there is knowledge that the physicality actually gets created through the soul and then manifests into the presence of the observers, us being the observers. And I put out in writing, in desire, all of these things that are coming to pass. And these things have been created through, well, there are so many ways of explaining it, but it's by using the soul in conjunction with agreement with others, in peace, for not ourselves. See, I haven't prayed for myself. I haven't prayed for the selfish, oh, let it be me, just take care of my family. Because see, if I can't walk barefooted anywhere in the world and through plasma technology, I can walk barefooted in the desert as well as in the Arctic regions. But we are seeing manifestation of what the heart of the Keshe Foundation is. And from my background, I would say the Christ. We are entering into how to take and follow the sayings of Christ, which are, if you believe in your heart that those things that you say shall come to pass, and believe it, and then work for it and agree upon it, then those things shall come to pass. Because we take and we organize the I'll call it the elements of creation into that which we are going to manifest, that is going to then give us ease, not only us, but a balance on a worldwide basis. And with that, I'm going to say thank you so much. I am present.
Wow, thank you very much, Dean. It was also great to have the confirmation of the animals in the background there when you started to mention, and they all chimed in. It was great because we were talking about that.
Let me just finish this. I have 3 birds in my house. They're parakeets. The first bird came 3 years ago, and it was a baby bird that was in my backyard that didn't have feathers to fly. No idea how it popped into reality in my backyard. Its name is Orion Pi. And then I had bought another one, and its name is Trivium, which is grammar, logic, and rhetoric. And then about a week and a half ago, I was out in my backyard, and there was another baby parakeet that popped into existence. And so now what I have in my cage is I have the celestial, which is Orion Pi. And then I have the reasoning, which is Trivium. And then I have Terra, which is Earth. So the 3, they sing to me and they give me pleasure. Anyway, love you guys, and just thank you so much. And I am glad that you and Mr. Keshe have how do I say this? You have taken the stripes. If you go back into, my tradition, which would be Paul, I have been stoned and I have been this and I have been that, but I am alive and I am creating and I am bringing about heaven on earth, the kingdom. Anyway, once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you can mute me and I'm just going to say peace be with you.
Okay, thank you, Dean. Doug says, the dogs agree, the birds agree, all creatures on earth agree. I am present. I am present with that too. Are you present, Caroline?
I am present. I was just unmuting myself.
That was a nice story, huh?
I think the animals will be for us. We never understood their language, but they are ahead of us. I remember something in Mr. Keshe's few last teachings. He says, not only the beauty in the life after or beyond, But he emphasized on something. I don't remember exactly how he said it, but most probably one of your geniuses are gonna come up with it. He said something in the way, you have no idea how beautiful this planet is and what you have on this planet. That there has to be such a chaos here. It's unbelievable when you have such a beauty in your hands. There is beauty, there is wisdom, there is love, there is care. There is so much present here. And it's beautiful. Just plain simple, beautiful. And I think on our next platform, people will have a better idea what we can add as our gift, what we actually are carrying out. It would be nice for people to come and share, this is my gift I offer to humanity. Because you might inspire so many other knowledge seekers or new people which are coming on board to see if maybe they have some of your gift in their pocket. And maybe start exploring on it. Or recognizing something that they have, which, as Jalal said, maybe they're not aware of. Or maybe it will set them off on a path to try. You know, children, they try sometimes things which they have seen others doing. And this is usually out of curiosity. I've seen children doing things that you say, my God. I heard a story about a boy. He saw an ad on the television, something about shaving, to have more beautiful hair. One day he goes in the bathroom and he shaves half of his eyebrows off. He comes to his mom and he realized what he has done and he tries to cover it with his hair in front of it. And it looks like, you know, it's comic. Some children take the scissors and they start cutting and chipping their hair to sorts of models. And then it takes weeks before you get the real explanation why they did it, and then you're double in laughing. I mean, it's no harm in to try. It's no harm in to explore. Even sometimes it might not end up with the result you wished for, but as we say, who gives it? It's nice to try. And it brings smiles to people's faces. And I see a lot of people saying, oh, this works and that works. And so come up with the building of the framework of your gift. Because as you're already exploring it, as you're already doing it, is no longer considered as something that is just words. Are we going to carry on, Rick, or are we going to call it a day?
Well, we should probably phase out here soon, especially considering your condition there. There's a few comments I can say from YouTube comments. And then maybe we could have the music from Pia that she was promising. I'm not sure if that's been sent or if that's happening or or what there, but we can look into that. But first of all, from James and YouTube, I feel we have been elevated to become aware of our divine nature. And now we can enjoy the confidence that the divine wants us to share with others. And from Stephen in YouTube, when the seas of life get rough, may the love of a calm heart calm the tides of fear through joy's celebration of creation and our course in it. From Sudhir in YouTube, time to heal the world and humanities with plasma energy. Okay, thank you from YouTube people. And Pia, do you have some music? Was that able to be put together? I don't see a message in my mail, so I'm not sure if that...
Rick?
Hi.
Hey, maybe I could play it tomorrow until the song is more ready. I could play it in the private, but I have sent you another song of mine. If you wish, you can play it. It's no copyright or anything.
Okay, just trying to find where you sent it here. Let me see. Oh, it'd be probably in my other one that's not open here. I see. Yes, yes. Okay.
I had trouble to bounce it down, you know, so I better
wait. I'm just seeing all the messages here. So which one is it? The second one you sent, Happy World?
Yes, and then tomorrow the other one is more ready.
Okay, let me see, how can I think I can do it by just sharing my sound. So let me try that.
So Libby, tomorrow you will hear the words. Are you there, Libby?
I am. Thank you very much for making my wish come true. Thank you.
Yeah, but all the wishes, we also still need more words to be put on. So
thank you.
Okay. Well, let me play this. I'm not sure how it's going to come through or at what volume, but we'll give it a try. And if there's any big issues, somebody let me know. I think it's 4 minutes, it looks like. And I just have it as a like a music file. I'm not even sure it's in my email. So I'll just try to play it and let's see if it comes through okay. Okay, here we go.
That large-hearted love. Yeah, we need that large-hearted love. We need to grow. We need that large-hearted love if we're gonna survive. I know your pain. I know your heart is brave. people, we open for.
Rick?
Sorry, I
If
think
that's okay, because you know what? It's really great because this is also an introduction. I sent it the sing-back version to you.
The which?
The sing-back version. So it still needs the verses, but that's okay. Next time you will hear the whole song.
Okay.
Yeah, but now you heard the taste of this song too.
So are we good for today then, as far as that's all for today?
Yes, and thank you, Pia. I understood that this was a repeat.
Yes, it was really funny because I had the song ready and I didn't recognize it was sing back, but that's okay. Now you had a little happy song.
No, that's fine. That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yes. Send more to you tomorrow.
That's great. I will ask for maybe the core team to start next week with their gifts. And then maybe the Universal Council members and the Earth Council members to come and to add their gifts, which we all pretty know, but it will be nice to put them down, as we say, to leave as a legacy that it's in black and white. Although a lot of people can find a lot of traces of a lot of knowledge seekers. But it's to put it as a framework and let it build up because it's proud and it's good to be proud of what you are and what gift you carry. But it also acknowledges your beauty. I thank you and I see you next week. And I hope my voice is a little bit better by tomorrow.
Your voice was lovely, Caroline. Thank you very much.
Thank you, team, for being there. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Vince, Flint.
Are you going to sing tomorrow?
No, I don't have to strengthen my voice to sing.
I thought you were going to sing.
Just before we go, Dean had his hand up here, so he put his hand up toward the end, so maybe he had something else he wanted to add. Dean, do you want to go ahead there?
No problem.
Dean, did you want to speak? Go ahead, or maybe your hand is accidentally up.
Hello. Okay.
Hi.
Yes, I'm here. Can I share a screen?
Okay.
Just be real quick.
Okay. It's nothing copyright.
Oh,
right?
No, it's mine.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. You should be able to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get what I had. If I don't pull it up in just, okay, here it is. Do you see this? Have I shared?
Yes, you did.
Okay, then let me get back there. Because these are some of the rainbows. This is my work. There's the heart. This is a piece I did when I was listening to a concert. This is a fountain I designed.
Are people seeing this? I'm not seeing this on my screen.
I'm not seeing that.
No, we don't see anything.
Okay, well then let me try.
You're not sure. Put up the image first and then select it in your share screen.
Yeah, usually I have this stuff pretty well done. Let me go right zoom. It's harder on a camera.
How come I can see it?
You could see it?
I can see it, yeah.
Well, it's just an image of his, that's his screen that shows I am one with a pyramid.
Okay.
That's all we see is your screen image.
Okay, well then we'll do this next time and I'll get some of this sent over.
Sure, get that set up as a little presentation because you mentioned your artwork and so on that you do. So that would be great to to have that as a sort of a presentation.
Right, and I'll make it available because my art gives peace, because it's geometric and it's beautiful and it's folded. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you. I am present and I am leaving.
Okay, thank you very much, Dean. Okay, this will wrap up today's session of the 28th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace for Tuesday, February 20th, 2018. And as usual, I think Flint is going to take us out with the musical interlude here. So thank you everybody for attending. Great show, and we'll see you here next week.